against veteran Ricky Keelis. And hi, everybody. I'm Brian Kenny. Welcome back to Friday Night Fights. With us tonight all evening long. He's fought everybody from 126 to 140 over the last 17 years. Everybody from Azuma Nelson to Panchito Bajado. With us this evening, Jesse James Leha. How are you, James?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
I know you announced your retirement this week. You had an emotional news conference in San Antonio, your hometown. Is that reacting to the loss against Arturo Gatti this past weekend, or do you think, no, this is it?
No, you know what? It's actually...
On some of the fights we have tonight. Again, Dale Brown, cruiserweights don't get a lot of pub. This guy is top 10 Ring Magazine ratings. What are your thoughts on Brown?
You know what? I like Dale Brown. I like his style. He's been well-schooled, and I really like that about him. He doesn't do anything extraordinary, but he does a lot of things right, and that's the important thing in boxing.
Boy, Edner Cherry's in great shape, huh? You can just see from the footage this guy's etched. He has some losses, but as a teenager, he's only 22 years old. What do you think?
Youth is always great. You know, youth is always great, and he's going to fight Ricky Keelis, and it's going to be a tough fight. Ricky Keelis is a little taller than Edner Cherry, but it's going to be a tough fight. There's going to be a lot of strategy going on both ways. It's going to be a tough fight for both guys.
That's in our main event, of course. The major news in boxing today, the passing of former heavyweight champion Max Schmeling. The man famous for both beating and then losing to Joe Louis, became ill over the holidays and never really recovered. He was 99 years old. His legacy is that of someone who was used for political propaganda, but also resisted such ties at great risk to himself. We'll have much more on Max Schmeling throughout the evening here on Friday Night Fights. Right now, we're getting ready for some live boxing. Let's send it down to Florida to Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas.
Thanks, Brian. We are coming to you from South Florida's new entertainment center. This is the impressive Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It's their grand ballroom. You know, the folks in charge here have made a strong commitment to boxing, and that includes a promotional contract with a top cruiserweight. One of the best in the biz, title contender Dale Brown. You see him right there. He is making his final preparations for the 36th fight of his career. The well-skilled and smart boxing Dale Cowboy Brown has saddled up for rough rides to the title before. He only has 3 losses in his 9-year career. 2 were for the world title. 1 was against current cruiserweight king Wayne Braithwaite. 1 year after his most recent title shot, Dale fought against the well-regarded power-punching Richie LaMontagne. Brown dominated every aspect of the fight, scoring 2 knockdowns on the way to the convincing win. Last June, he was here at the Hard Rock to face former world champ Robert Daniels. Again, Brown was perhaps sharper and more controlling than he ever had been. And another statement win was in the bag. A quick look at the ring rankings show that Brown is capable of a big 2005. In fact, with 4 of the top 5 facing each other, a big fight will open up for the Cowboy.
There's something in me definitely knows I can beat these champions. I would not be in this game right now if I did not think I could be a world champion. That what drives me in this game. That's what keeps me going right now. I'm getting up there in age. I'm 33 years old. My kids are young. I want to enjoy their lives. I probably got 2 or 3 years left. And I'm going to make the best of those years. I absolutely can beat these guys.
First, he has to get by Shelby Gross, which in the eyes of every expert is a sure thing. Just don't tell that to the likable Shelby.
People have courage of doing things, but not everybody is a gladiator. And I consider myself a gladiator with the courage to go in there and fight and win. I'm little David. I don't have 3 stones, I have 2, but all I need is 1. If the dream is big enough, the facts don't count.
Well, he can preach. He may change his mind on that theory of the talk by the time this is over. When we come back, top 10 contender Dale Brown going to get some work in against the raw aggression of Shelby Gross. Stay with us.
ESPN celebrates Black History Month. The path we tread.
Joe Louis carried the hopes and dreams of Americans into the ring against Max Schmeling for their rematch in 1938. Schmeling was the poster boy for Nazi Germany. The whole damn country was depending on me, Louis said. FDR even summoned Louis to the White House for a pep talk. With black and white Americans united behind him, Louis knocked Schmeling out in the first round. That's the path we tread.
Scent is the strongest sense tied to memory. How will you be remembered? Introducing Red Zone Body Spray and 4 great scents. Spice things up.
These guys, like family.
So when I learned 1 in 3 men faces prostate problem,
he had to switch to One-A-Day Men's.
One-A-Day Men's, a complete multivitamin plus lycopene, which Harvard studies suggest may help prostate health.
gotta watch out for my guys.
One-A-Day Men's.
Isn't it time for a more productive meeting? Microsoft Office Live Meeting. Web conferencing that gives you the power to meet with 2 to thousands from virtually anywhere. See for yourself with a live meeting free trial. You can present to clients around the globe. Create and collaborate in real time with a virtual whiteboard. You can even get instant feedback by taking a live poll. And since it's a hosted service, all it takes is a PC, a phone, and an internet connection. It's the perfect tool for training employees, giving interactive sales presentations, or even launching a new product. Get your free trial today and see what it's like to reach more people in less time. See how easily Live Meeting works with Microsoft Office programs like PowerPoint and Outlook, plus Windows Messenger. See web conferencing at its best from the company determined to make it even better.
ESPN2 Friday Night Fights, brought to you by One-A-Day Men's Health Formula, a complete multivitamin plus lycopene for prostate health. Good look at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Plenty of gold records lining the walls here at the Hard Rock, and we have a cruiserweight that's looking to have a smash hit this year as Dale Brown wants to maintain his status and get another shot at the title. He takes on Shelby Gross. There's the Cowboy, Dale Brown, a 3-inch height advantage in this fight. Stands at 6'1", Calgary native, now 33 years old. Still coaching and training in his hometown. He gets a real kick out of that. His last 5, Brown has gone 4-1. Of course, it's led off by his title shot defeat to Mormek. His last 5 opponents have a combined record of 127 wins out of their 148 fights. Good crowd he's in. And here's the energetic 32-year-old Shelby Gross. And the truth is that Gross is grossly overmatched. He's a former barroom brawler, a tough man competitor. He has 12 knockouts among his 15 wins against very weak Southern Commission competition. His last 5, well, he's a perfect 5-0, but that comes against the group that has a 28% win percentage. In fact, Jenkins, Dawson, Wilson, 0-12. Jorge Alonso is your referee. Scheduled 10-rounder.
Well, to follow that up, Joe, and elaborate on what you said very well, is we have a responsibility here with the program and as commentators to bring the most competitive fights to our fans, the best in the world. And we also have the responsibility, and I was hired for that, to tell the truth when we don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening right now. If I'm wrong, obviously I sit in this chair and I take responsibility, but right now I do not think this is the most competitive match we can put out there matchmaking-wise. Brown, world-class fighter. Gross, not. Foul.
Shelby Gross out to prove everybody wrong tonight, a huge underdog. You could hear him before we went on with our pre-fight interviews, full of confidence and guts, but he's faced very limited competition. The only time he stepped up in his career, Teddy, it came against Antonio Tarver, and Tarver knocked him out in the first round. That was back in August of 1997.
You touched on it, all but one of Gross's fights in the South. And as you just said, that was his only loss by knockout. Let him on. 2, as you said, a very good fighter. Former world champion Antonio Tarver, but it was also in Tarver's 3rd pro fight. One thing going for Gross is Brown, a world-class technician, solid fighter, been in there with the best, fought for the world title 2 times, but not a puncher. But tonight, I think he might be able to look like Joe Louis, Mike Tyson, and George Foreman. We'll see.
Shelby Gross.
Whoa, bring him up, Joe. Bring him up now.
See the warning from Jorge Alonso. And talking about that Antonio Tarver knockout loss, he says, hey, I admit it, I was totally outclassed, but now feels he has more experience and discipline and character to take the next step.
Now, I don't want to disparage Gross. That was not my intention. My intention is to let the viewers know what I believe is happening or going to happen. That is who I care about. But Gross is a game guy, a very nice guy. I met him yesterday. I just don't think that he's the best guy to be in the ring right now with Brown.
When pressed for the truth of this apparent mismatch, Dale Brown said yesterday, listen, I want to work on my jab. I want to stay sharp. Things are going to be opening up in this cruiserweight division, and I'm happy to stay busy. He also added that he realizes that everybody can punch when you get to the cruiserweight division, so you never know. You got to be careful.
And speaking about careful, you always got to wonder and worry about the danger in this kind of situation. If Brown doesn't get tempted to carry his opponent just a little bit to get some rounds where he's in a safe spot, which doesn't happen too often in the square circle.
Both men wearing the black trunks with white trim. They're looking for a way to identify them. Dale Brown with the shaved head. The cowboy. Nice and aerodynamic here in South Florida.
Brown should concentrate on that body, that soft body of the shorter.
Watch your hand, watch your hand inside, Jerry. Let him go, Jerry.
Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you from the Hard Rock here in Hollywood, Florida. Edner Cherry, Ricky Quiles, a really good lightweight fight still to come tonight in our main event. And let's show you the Ring Magazine lightweight rankings, because the big story here, Teddy, is the number 4 guy you see, Julio Diaz, is going to be vacating that IBF belt. So there's some room for movement for Cherry or Quiles.
Yeah, the winner, this is an impactful fight. And more importantly, this is a fight that our fans should stay around and watch, because it's a competitive fight. It's contrasting styles. Quiles is going to have to box and use that southpaw style. And that guy right there, Cherry, he's going to want to use his power. He's a stronger man. So who's going to get their way? Our fans are going to get a chance to find out. The stronger Cherry or the more experienced Quiles, who's a southpaw, and he's going to want to box. And guess what? He's got a pretty good former southpaw in his corner. You know who that is, Joe?
Yeah, you know who that is very, very well. Michael Moore, the 2-time former heavyweight champion of the world, will be in the corner tonight for Ricky Quiles. Of course, Teddy Atlas leading Michael Moore to the heavyweight championship in that upset of Evander Holyfield, in one of the most impassioned efforts from a trainer that this sport has ever seen. Round number 2 between Dale Brown, Ring Magazine top 10 cruiserweight, and Shelby Gross, the biggest step up that he's taken in recent years, 15-6. Connect advantage for the Cowboy in the first round. Dale Brown with the shaved head to identify them tonight, as both are wearing very similar trunks.
All 3 losses of Brown's suffered by knockout, but all of them to pressure guys who were physically strong. That does not give a job description of Shelby Gross. 250 amateur fights for Brown to go along with all that pro experience. As we set foot for the world title 2 times, all 3 losses of those knockout losses suffered by Brown, 2 world champions.
Vasily Girov, Wayne Braithwaite, and John Mark Mormek. You know, it's funny, Teddy, but you look at the cruiserweight division right now, and you really see a division that is highly competitive, and you know, the limit being raised to 200 pounds, I think, has helped a lot of guys to not go north to the heavyweight division. And Braithwaite and O'Neal Bell and Mormek and Kelvin Concrete Davis, and I mean, there's some solid competition at the top of the cruiserweight division right now.
Yes, there is. And right now, although I'm trying my best not to use this word, carrying, and there I go, I used it, but I just get the feeling that Brown is just playing a little bit with an overmatched opponent. I don't see full force on all those punches by Brown. But then again, that's just my humble estimation. Very seldom in this chamber of truth do you get the opportunity in this very difficult business to to work on things without a lot of danger in front of you. That is one of the opportunities presented to Brown. I wonder if he's taking advantage of it in that way.
Eddie's first reaction to how do you see the fight was, here's what I'm going to work on.
That body shot hurt Gross. But again, you have to wonder why Brown has not followed up.
Uppercut from the right hand, Dale Brown. Gross returns fire with a looping left. A Hail Mary left hand from Shelby Gross. But still steady control from the Cowboy, Dale Brown.
To play professional volleyball, you better be in great shape. To play at age 41, you better be in the best shape of your life. How do I do it? Bowflex.
Introducing the all-new Bowflex Extreme 2.
I've been on this machine for 6 weeks and packed 12 pounds of muscle onto my frame. If I'm out slamming it with 20-somethings, I need the kind of shape that only comes through strength training with Bowflex. I got pumped arms, ripped abs, and legs of steel.
Change your body in one easy 20-minute workout, done just 3 times a week.
If you want real results real